Ah, yes. One of my all-time favorite subjects, ancient Egypt. My name is Ash. Welcome to my studio. This episode is all about Cleopatra's tomb. Recently, as within the past 2 years or so, reports have surfaced that Egyptologists have found the final resting place of Cleopatra VII and Mark Antony. This period in ancient Egyptian history is the Greco-Egyptian period, where the Greeks ruled Egypt from 323 BC to 30 BC. For those of you who don't know, here's a quick history lesson. Cleopatra VII, Cleopatra, was a descendant of Ptolemy I Soter. Ptolemy I was one of the generals of Alexander the Great. Cleopatra VII ruled Egypt from 51 BC to 30 BC. She was crowned at 18, and during her reign she did many wonderful things for the state of Egypt. She was incredibly intelligent, an amazing commander and ruler, and she was also very beautiful. That being said, she was married several times. First, she was married to her brother, Ptolemy XV. Yeah, don't ask. This is the one thing about the ancient Egyptians that I really was not a fan of, and for the record, Cleopatra was not a fan of marrying her brother either. But for whatever reason, the ancient Egyptians believed in intermarrying within the royal family. One of the few stains on the ancient Egyptian history record is incest. Incest is not best. And this is why the royal bloodlines in Egypt didn't last very long. Anyway, after her brother's untimely demise, she eventually made an alliance and married Julius Caesar. Yes, that Julius Caesar. Together they had a son, Caesarion. Now, Caesar was already married. Technically, he was on his third marriage in Rome, which was an incredibly wise and strategic military move on his part. Although, can you blame him? Cleopatra was beautiful, she was powerful, she was intelligent. It was a smart political alliance, and Caesar would become a living god in the land of Egypt. Cleopatra also had a mistress. His name was Mark Antony. Now, Caesar's third wife, Cleopatra, was not pleased at all that Caesar decided to marry Cleopatra. This caused turmoil in Rome. One thing led to another, and this ultimately led to Caesar being voted off Earth. You have us off. Goodbye. So Cleopatra was left free to see her mistress, Mark Antony. The new ruler of Rome, Octavian, also known as Augustus Caesar, decided he was going to sack Egypt. During one battle in particular, Mark Antony was about to lose, and he decided to fall on his own sword in an attempt to kill himself. Emphasis on attempt. It didn't go so well for him. So as he lay dying, calling out for Cleopatra, he was taken to her, where eventually he did in fact die. Cleopatra, knowing that she was going to be defeated by the Romans, decided to also take her own life by poisoning herself from the bite of a snake. Now, Cleopatra and her mistress, Mark Antony, also had children, Ptolemy XV, and they were twins, Cleopatra Selene II and Alexander Helios. After Cleopatra and Mark Antony's death, they were entombed together somewhere where the Romans could not find them. Rumor has it the Romans knew where she was buried and they did not disturb the tomb. I disagree. I think had they been given the chance, the Romans would have sacked the tomb and destroyed the body, so her followers were smart, and they would have buried her somewhere outside the city. Her followers got her children out of Egypt, and thus that brings us to present day. Mainstream Egyptologists have theorized for decades that Cleopatra's tomb had fallen off into the ocean along with her palace. I have disagreed with this since I was in diapers. The logical explanation would be that her followers would have taken her and Mark Antony's body out into the desert to be secretly entombed somewhere where their bodies could not be dismembered, destroyed, and the tomb ultimately defaced. The Temple of Isis or the Temple of Osiris would be probable locations because of the fact that Cleopatra believed she was the reincarnation on Earth of Isis, and that Caesar and or Mark Antony would have been the reincarnation of Osiris. Isis is the mother of Horus, the wife and sister to Osiris, and she happens to be the goddess of life, magic, and the moon. She's also the protector of women and children. Hence why the Temple of Isis near Alexandria would be a probable location. Now personally, I'm anxious to see if Dr. Kathleen Martinez does in fact find the bodies of Cleopatra VII and Mark Antony. Cleopatra VIII would have been Cleopatra VII's daughter with Mark Antony, in case you wanted to know. I think it's appropriate that Cleopatra be found by a woman, considering that Cleopatra is one of the most important and influential women who have ever lived. Now, Dr. Martinez and her team have been teasing us with what they have found. They have put some of their findings on display. They have found many things from statues to pottery. If Dr. Martinez and her team happen to find the body of Cleopatra, this would be absolutely groundbreaking in the field of Egyptology and for world history if we could find where her tomb actually is located and still find her body intact. One of the most important reasons would be she was one of the first non-Egyptian rulers to bother to learn how to read and write hieroglyphics and speak the ancient Egyptian language. She's the reason why we have the Rosetta Stone today. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video on Cleopatra's tomb. And if you would like to see more, please click the like and subscribe button. Good night.
Yay!